Hey, welcome to week 7 of the Nourished Runner coaching program. And this week we are talking about portion control and mindful eating. And portion control for runners generally isn't that we're eating too much. It's often that we're eating too little. We're eating on the go, we're skipping meals, we are grabbing quick carbs, quick on-the-go food that doesn't have the nutrition we need. We're not eating enough. So I find when I can get you guys, and we've talked about this earlier, is eating those 3 meals a day, complete with carbohydrate, healthy fat, and protein, with snacks in between, based on your hunger. Again, carbohydrate, fat, protein, nutrient dense, real food. You're gonna find that portion control doesn't matter. And when you learn to slow down, tune into your hunger, and tune into what you're putting in your body and why, the portion control is going to naturally level itself out, right? Like, do I want to eat this? Do I not? Do I need another portion? Do I not? And that's where the mindfulness comes in. And it's really an important piece. So, I mean, in general, portion sizes for people are a palm of protein, a fist of vegetables, a cupped hand of carbohydrates, and a thumb-sized portion of fat. And generally, if you eat that at every meal throughout the day, you're going to be getting enough fuel to maximize your recovery between your workouts, to fuel your body with what you need. But it's deeper than that. It's the mindfulness that I really want to focus on today in this topic. Because mindful eating is really important, and that's all about like being conscious of what we're eating and what we're not eating and how it's making us feel. I always want you guys to stop and ask yourself, because grazing all day long on things, like, we're literally bombarded with junk food everywhere all the time. And if you're not mindfully choosing to eat things, you end up grazing and taking in all these empty calories and then feeling guilty and not hungry for meals and skipping, and then you're not getting the nutrients that you need. You're not able to tune into your hunger because you're always spiking and crashing your blood sugars, and you're not in control of your food, right? Like, you do not have food freedom. You are struggling, feeling guilty, and probably binge eating in the mid-afternoon, after work, or after everyone is asleep. And that's what I want to focus on, you guys. Mindful eating. I mean, eating should be fun. You should be excited about your food. I mean, you're a runner. You need a lot of food, and it should feel good. And I want you guys to tune into that, because that alone can change your nutrition. It could change your body. It can change your energy. You're going to eat something without thinking, and you're going to eat it, and you're going to go, I really wish I didn't just eat those 3 Halloween chocolate bars. You feel crappy, right? That feels crappy. But if you're like, they're sitting in front of you, because they always are, and you're like, if I eat this, is it going to nourish my body? Like, take 5 seconds. Is this going to nourish my body and help me achieve my goals, or is it going to make me feel guilty, and it's just empty calories? And then make a decision. And there's going to be times where you just want to eat it, and that's fine. But make sure that you're making the conscious, mindful choice to eat it. Personally, I save my pleasure foods, like my splurge foods, for certain things. I love really good chocolate. I love really good wine. I love having a beer on a cold day, but I don't overdo it, and I don't graze on the sugars all day long, which I used to. When I used to work in hospitals, there was food everywhere, in restaurants, food everywhere, all the time, thrown in my face. And it is hard if you're not mindful. And if you think about it, if you're grazing on those things all day, we've talked about blood sugar, so you get that you're spiking and crashing all day, storing fat all day. You never get to tune into your hunger, and you're taking in all of these empty calories all day long. They're doing nothing to help you feel good, to help your digestion, to help you energize your body. And we end up like overeating and being undernourished. And this is like a massive problem. And we're busy. Like, I get it. We're busy. We're on the go. Planning and prepping is really, really, really hard, and there's really no easy way around it. So you do your best. That's it. You do your best, and you don't worry about the days that aren't, but just be mindful of that, right? And like asking yourself at the end of the day, when those cravings really come on, are you really hungry? What did I not do today? Why am I feeling this way? Oh yeah, I skipped this meal. I skipped that meal. I grazed all day long. And just be mindful. Sit with it. Be present with it. Don't be judgmental. Like, I don't want you guys being triggered by this in any way. I don't want you feeling guilty about your food. I simply want you to understand it, and that you have the control when you tune in and turn on that mindfulness. It's very powerful. You have the control. And so ask yourself, am I physically hungry, or am I simply emotionally eating? And you can do everything right and still be emotionally eating. And then we want to look at what's causing that. Well, are you lonely? Are you stressed? Are you bored? Are you not inspired in your life? And these are realities of why we eat, when we eat, or how we eat, because food is the most abused substance, and exercise is the most underabused, which is why most underutilized treatment for depression. Food is the most abused. So I want you guys really digging into this. If you need more help with this, if you have disordered eating, you need to get professional help, because I can't help you with this. I want to open it up. This is hard stuff, but I love diving into it with you, because as runners, often we don't dive into it. Nutrition is the elephant in the room, and we train and run, and then get really upset that we're not losing weight, and we just trash our bodies. I don't want you to trash your body. I want you to nurture and love it with really good food, right? I want you to overcome the stresses in your life, because we run for emotional health, but like, why are we always running so many miles to deal with our stress? Like, where is that stress coming from? We need to kind of look into that, because what we're doing is running our bodies into the ground and not feeding them properly, and you will get sick. So this week, I want you to think about eating. I want you to think about, how much you're eating at regular intervals. What is your struggle? What's happening? I want you to think about when you are craving things and you find yourself emotionally eating things. I want you to be aware of those habits and what your triggers might be. Like, when my kids go to bed, and my husband's sleeping, I'm lonely, and so I drink 3 glasses of wine, right? Or I go to the stash of candy, knowing the candy's in the cupboard. Maybe I should get rid of it. I go to the gym, and I skip lunch because I don't have time, and then by 2 o'clock I'm starving and reading the drawer. So my trigger is that I go to the gym and I don't eat properly after. So you gotta figure out what those triggers are, acknowledge them, sit with them, and then try to make a plan to work on them, so that doesn't keep sabotaging your efforts. And for most of us, triggers come down to the habits that we've formed over years, right? We're on autopilot without consciously being aware of the decisions we're making, which is why I love talking about mindfulness, being present in your life, being present with the decisions you make and how you feel. Because again, I know that as runners, oftentimes we don't like to be present with our feelings. We just like to push our bodies, and that is where we are holding ourselves back from stepping into our greatness, stepping into our happiness, stepping into being our healthiest selves, which is where I want you guys to be, okay? So this week, just tune in. Just tune in to when you are binge eating, sugar craving, grabbing foods that have no nutrient quality, and ask yourself why. Be in tune with that. And maybe before you eat, take 5 seconds to ask yourself, is this going to nourish my body or hold me back? Okay? Try to slow down and eat. Try to slow down and feed yourself with lots of really good, nutritious food. And if you find yourself struggling, reach out and let us know. Go to the group, be open, be vulnerable, share. And if this is a really triggering topic for you and you're really struggling, you need to seek professional help, do that too. I have a couple of great resources that you might be really interested in that are online, because that's where my space is. Let me know and I can hook you up with that, because until we are eating well, you are never going to run well or hit a lot of your goals. And just pushing your body, continuing to push your goals, push your distances, push your paces without addressing nutrition and mindful eating, you're going to struggle. And I don't want that for you guys. I want you feeling amazing and nurturing your body, nurturing your mind, nurturing your spirit, and just becoming the healthiest version of you possible. This is what makes this community so different than any other run training plan, just telling you to push and push and push. And I'm really thankful and I love that you are here with me opening this discussion. So have a great afternoon.